You ever ask your AI for simple email drafts and you get back something, well, just a little too simple? What if you could turn that same AI into a real strategic partner? That's exactly what we're going to dig into today. We're moving beyond those basic requests to orchestrate some seriously sophisticated AI strategies for your toughest sales challenges. And just so you know, all the great info we're covering in this explainer comes straight from Chapter 4 of the Beginning, Intermediate, and Advanced Prompt Engineering for Sales Professionals tutorial, which is provided by Virtualization Options LLC. So, here's our game plan. We're going to build out your AI prompting toolkit. First up, we'll talk about the big mindset shift, that intermediate leap. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of teaching an AI how to think in steps. After that, I'll show you how to give it the full context it needs for deep analysis. And finally, we'll pull it all together to start planning for pretty much any sales scenario you can think of. All right, let's kick things off with the first big idea, making that intermediate leap. Look, this isn't just about writing slightly better prompts. It's about completely shifting your approach from making simple tactical requests to asking for high-level strategic guidance. You know that feeling, right? You ask your AI for help with a really complex sales situation, and the results you get back are just generic. You ask for objection handling, you get a bland template. You ask for an account plan, you get superficial advice. That's the strategic wall, and it's a huge sign that it's time to level up your prompting game. And here's the fundamental shift, the big idea. Intermediate prompting isn't about asking for content. It's about guiding the AI through a thought process. You're not just asking it to write the answer for you. You're teaching it how to think through the problem, just like a senior sales strategist would. This is what transforms the AI from a simple tool into a genuine thinking partner. So, how do we actually start teaching the AI to think? Well, the first technique is all about getting it to reason in sequential steps. We're going to break down those big, complex problems into a logical sequence, basically making the AI follow the same path our own minds would to analyze a situation. This whole process has 4 really clear phases. First, you get the AI to just analyze the situation. That's it, just identify the key factors. Then it moves on to synthesis, where it starts connecting those dots and seeing the patterns. Only after that does it move on to developing a strategy. And then finally, it gets to the application, creating the actual tactical stuff like an action plan. You see? Each step builds on the last, and that's how you get a much more sophisticated outcome. And this is exactly how you put that theory into practice. Instead of one big vague request like, hey, give me an account strategy, you guide it. Step 1, analyze these challenges. Step 2, okay, for each of those challenges, what do I need to know? Step 3, now develop a strategy. And finally, step 4, create the action plan. This is what stops that generic advice in its tracks and forces a much more comprehensive and, frankly, usable result. Okay, once you've taught the AI how to think, you have to give it something good to think about. And that brings us to our next technique, building a complete picture. Think of it this way. You wouldn't just give a vague task to a senior colleague and expect amazing results, right? To get expert-level output, you got to provide an expert-level briefing. This is the basic structure for that briefing. You're giving the AI the full landscape, the industry context, the specific customer situation, who all the stakeholders are, what the competitive situation looks like, and, this is a big one, your own constraints. When you organize the information this way, you allow the AI to connect dots you might not even see yourself. And here's what that looks like. Notice how everything is anonymized. No real company names here, but the details are super rich. We're not just saying a hospital, we're saying a mid-market hospital with an outdated system and an understaffed IT department. We're not just listing stakeholders, we're defining what they care about. Technical stuff, workflow, ROI. This level of structured, secure detail is the secret sauce that enables the AI to generate deeply relevant and strategic advice. Okay, so now we can guide the AI's thinking and we can give it rich context. Now we get to use it for our final technique, planning for every single possibility. This is where we start building a strategic playbook before we ever even step foot in a meeting. The first tool in our playbook is something called conditional logic. You're basically asking the AI to build a decision tree for you. It's a simple if-then structure. So, if the prospect brings up a competitor early on, then you've got a response ready that redirects back to their needs. But if they bring it up late in the game, then you have a totally different response that compares based on what you've already learned. This prepares you for all the different ways a conversation can go. And the last tool for our playbook is comparative analysis. And honestly, this one is a game changer for making those really tough strategic decisions. Instead of just asking for one good idea, you ask the AI to evaluate several options side by side and actually analyze the trade-offs of each one. This is how you transform your thinking from just gut feel selling to a truly data-driven strategy. You're not just guessing which prospecting approach is best anymore. You're prompting the AI to analyze each one based on key things, like the odds of reaching decision makers and the resources you'll have to put in. This gives you a really clear framework to choose the right strategy for the right situation. It's an incredibly powerful decision-making tool. So, let's do a quick recap of your new intermediate toolkit. You've got multi-step reasoning to guide the AI's thought process. You've got contextual frameworks to give it the full picture. You've got conditional logic to plan for different scenarios. And you've got comparative analysis to help you make smarter strategic choices. Mastering these techniques really does transform your AI from just a simple assistant into a powerful strategic partner. So, the only question left is this. Which one of your toughest, most complex sales challenges are you going to tackle first with this new strategic toolkit?